What's up, you all? I'm live. We're gonna jump right into it. Let me just go to Instagram real quick and just put down my YouTube channel. Put down my YouTube channel. Now I want to start off with a video. Now I want to start off with a video. Now I was told they cutting the grass outside. Not cutting the grass, but you know, um, they doing the landscaping. Um, but yeah. So I did a video. In the video, I talked about how white people are not thinking about it's loud about black people, and so most black folks disagree with that statement. Then I saw a video today I was tagged in, and let me just play the video because if I play it, it'll make more sense. And this video went viral, and black folks agreed with this video. This video went viral and black folks agreed with it.
So I'm seeing some of you in the comments defending this lady by saying that it's plausible that she simply didn't see the black girl that she passed over. I agree. It is plausible that she didn't see her. You see, white people not seeing black people, unless of course it's a dark street, then of course you can see us from a mile away, is not unusual. In fact, ask the average black person if they've ever been waiting in line with a white person serving the line, only to have the white person behind them get called ahead of them. And the person serving the line says, "I didn't see you." This is not an exoneration, but a demonstration of your racism. Chances are, if that little black girl was in a department store shopping, and this person was a clerk working in that department store, well, she'd have seen that black girl and kept her eyes glued to her the entire time. But in a situation where excellence is being awarded, well, you simply didn't see a black girl in that scenario. And for those of you who pat yourselves on the back for not seeing color, ask yourself a simple question. If you don't see color, how then will you see people of color? You don't see what you don't want to see. Racist. We out here.
The black man is weak and pathetic. The black man is weak and pathetic. He's spineless. He's filled with estrogen. He's excuse-based. The black man is disgusting. And maybe he's always been disgusting. I don't know. Now, I did a video and I was told that white people are constantly thinking and worried about black people. But in this video, when they ignore black people, it's a problem. So black folks are mad that white folks are paying attention to them, and then also upset when they ignore them. This lets you know it's just BS. Think about this now. I don't know about you all, but I haven't been in line and somebody calls the person behind me to come in front of me to get served first. I haven't seen Jesse Lee on Uma. I'm gonna look it up on YouTube though. Thank you, Black Ink Pride, for the badge. Thank you so much. But my question is, here's my question. Who has been in a line and the white clerk or cashier or customer service person called the white person behind you to come in front of you to be serviced before you? Who's had that? I can't recall in my life where there was a white person behind me and they said, "Excuse me, move me out the way," and tended to them. I've never had it happen to me. Now, when folks have walked up, you may not know, that's different. But if I'm standing in line and there's a white person behind me and they call a white person from behind me and they say, "I didn't," come on. Come on. Anyway, my point is, this guy is a grown man crying because he feels that white people are overlooking him. Now the term is we out here, right? I want you to listen how he says it. Now I know he's a poser panderer.
Ask yourself a simple question. If you don't see color, how then will you see people of color? You don't see what you don't want to see. Racist. We out here.
Again, he's another Lecrae guy. He's a guy that I guarantee grew up with white people. He has a lot of white liberal friends. I can just tell the type. He has a lot of white liberal friends. Again, the only folks that fund and push this stuff are white liberals and Jewish liberals. Black folks don't put cash behind this kind of stuff. They just don't. So this guy threw up the 2-piece signs. I haven't seen this since the 60s, maybe the 70s. This dude threw up 2-piece signs. Is he cosplaying somebody that's woke? When was the last time y'all saw somebody throw up 2-piece signs? Honestly, these people are frauds. They're not real. They're not real. Come on. Threw up 2-piece signs. But his complaint was that white people don't see black people because they choose to ignore black people. That's the premise of the video. And when my video went out, black folks said I was wrong. So my video said that white folks ain't thinking about y'all. His video says they're ignoring you all. The common theme is white folks ain't paying y'all no attention. Broski Bear said, I'm white and I see black people. This is my thing, right? The problem is it's narcissism. Why do you have to be seen by anybody? Why do you have to be acknowledged? For what? Why does a white person that's minding their business have to stop what they're doing to acknowledge you? For what? I've experienced the worst customer service from black people. I've been treated the worst as far as business by black people. I remember one time when I was in a senior, well, about to be a freshman in college that summer. I remember we had Junior Olympics in Houston, Texas, but we had a track meet the week before up in Eugene, Oregon. I left my wallet in this donut shop in Eugene, Oregon. The people in the donut shop mailed my wallet to me to Houston. They overnighted my wallet to me to Houston. White people, of course. No money missing. Just happy to help. My point is, all of this racial rhetoric is to create division, obviously, but it's more than create division. All of this propaganda behind race is to get people to turn against white people, meaning to fight against them. I told you all that the white people will be fighting against the UN troops, the Chi-Coms, the federal IRS agents. That's who white folks will be fighting against. There won't be a race war or a civil war. It won't be it. But what they need people of color to go against white people to make it seem like it's racial. But I assure you, it would not be racial. And they're probably going to hire people, false flag events, hire people of color to go into white communities and start causing up a ruckus. I'm just telling you what they're going to do. Because I don't know if anybody else knows, but black folks ain't fighting no civil war. Listen, black people ain't about to take up arms against some white folks. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. So this notion that white people, black folks are ready to fight is false. It ain't going to happen. But let's continue. Let me see if I can find this Jesse Lee Peterson real quick. It's going to be hard to find it, though. Jesse Lee Peterson. And I know he can't pronounce Umar Johnson's name. Umar. Amazing. Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson. Okay, so I see Umar Johnson versus Jesse Lee Peterson. I see Umar Johnson debates the biggest coon. Umar made Jesse look like a clown. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Well, this is. I don't want to use the Fox Soul one. Let me find somebody else because this is the Fox Soul one.
Diligently to have me come back. And one of the reasons I did not
possible and not blame and whine, and they didn't put it out there as though they couldn't make it. Dr. Umar Johnson just made up words.
Reverend Jesse, I don't think we should suggest that one person knows more than the other in a sense of you saying you know it all and anyone else on the panel knows less. That's a little unfair.
Yeah, well, I may not know my flowers, but I know Dr. Umar Johnson is blind and that he's wrong. And he doesn't know God. So he's telling people words, fancy words, in order to deceive them. If you knew that our battle is a battle between good and evil, then you wouldn't make up words in order to deceive. You would tell the truth and hope that those who are blind may wake up and see the right way to go. I grew up on a plantation down in Alabama under the Jim Crow law. And back then, black people—
were no slaves on that plantation?
Well, yeah, they had, you know, as a matter of fact, my grandparents' parents ran the plantation, but they weren't slaves when I was growing up. And the point is, black people had a sense of morality then, and they loved what was right. They worked hard. They loved their country. They didn't blame because the men were leading the way.
Hold that thought, now, Reverend Jesse.
Now the black men saw like women.
So this is what's funny about Jesse Lee Peterson and Umar Johnson. The reason why most black men are weak is because they have excuses. If you take the average if you get 10 black men and you give them a microphone and you ask them what's wrong with America, you ask them, is racism a problem? You ask them, who's held you back in life? You ask these series of questions, 9.5 out of the 10 black men are going to blame white people. It's just, it is what it is. If we look at this panel right here, you got the lady, Tammy, you got Jesse Lee, you got Umar, you got Jermaine, and you got this funny looking dude on the end with the glasses. They're like the black version of the guy, the Hawkins guy, the smart guy that can't walk or talk. But anyway, but out of these 4 people right here, Jesse Lee Peterson is the only one that's not excuse-minded. I guarantee the rest of these people on here are excuse-minded, especially the guy named Michael Imhotep. Let's continue, man. This man's name is Michael M. Hotel. Goodness.
This gives us a cultural paradigm that we see reality through, but this gives us some type of code of conduct, as Dr. Umar was talking about. So when you deal with other ethnic groups in this country, for the most part, they have their history and culture intact to a certain extent, and this gives them that code of conduct he was talking about. That gives them that foundation. Largely for us, it's been taken away from us, and many of us, in various ways, been trying to take back, reclaim certain aspects of it. But we're operating at a deficit. So
See, here goes the problem. I can't spend time on this because I got to do a whole show dedicated to this Umar Johnson and Jesse Lee Peterson. But I'm gonna say this, right? So what people don't realize is that Black folks are teetering the fence. Black folks are running around here like atheists, but they're saying they believe in God, or they're saying that they are gods. The problem is that the Bible says that which a man soweth, that which he shall also reap. So reaping and sowing is something that God created. That means what a person does in their life, every action they do is planting a seed. Once that seed is planted, it will sprout up and reap a harvest. Now, the Bible clearly says God will not be mocked. The reason why the Bible says that God will not be mocked is because people are running around here doing all types of things and then thinking they're getting away with it. What happens is a lot of Black people do a whole lot of stuff. And then when the chickens come home to roost, they try to blame white people. You're reaping and sowing, you don't know how it's going to come back. So my point is, you can do a whole bunch of dirt. You don't know how those seeds that were sown are going to reap a harvest. You don't know. So what Black folks do is, and I grew up around this, I've seen plenty of Black folks one way, this way, and not this way, another way. Meaning they're two different people. But in public, they're telling you they're great, and they're this and they're that, and they're not. When I'm talking about character. I'm talking about the character of the individual. Black people make it about race because they don't want to deal with character. Because Black folks believe culturally that their character doesn't matter. Black folks don't believe intent matters. Black folks are only focused on the outcome. If you don't believe me, you ask the average Black person, are all white people racist? They're going to say yes. That means that in a Black person's mind, there's no consideration for a person's character. I can bring up all types of things that Black leaders did in the past that were heinous and horrific. And Black folks will say, what did the white people do? So the problem here is that God has a system in place. And that system is that which a man soweth is what he will also reap. So in a sowing and reaping system, everything we do counts. Now, it might not count to your friends. It might not count to your family. It might not count to your community. It might not count to the country. But what you do matters to God. And so once you remove the fear of God from a people, you get what you got, and that's called Black culture. There's a reason why the Bible says that God will not be mocked, because people are running around here doing all types of things and they think they're getting away with it. They think they're getting away with it. You ask the average Black person, when was the last time you repented for your sins? Go ask the average Black person, when was the last time you repented for your sins? And y'all gonna say, well, Blanche, everybody sins. That ain't my point. There's only one group of people running around on this planet calling themselves God's chosen people. Even the fake Jews don't call themselves the chosen people. You'll never hear them say that. You don't never hear the fake Jews saying they're the chosen people. And they could say it. So black people are running around saying they're gods and goddesses, they're kings and queens, they're the chosen people. So that means that the standard for black people is the highest. So what I did was I said, wait a minute. I said, I've been holding black people to a low standard because I felt like black folks were victims. But then I sat back, I said, wait a minute, these people ain't victims. So now what I do is I hold black people to the standard that they've set. They've said God and goddesses. They've said kings and queens. They've said chosen. That's what I measure them by. So that means I should never see a black person doing anything that a white person does that is negative. I should never see it because black folks is up here above everybody else. Lady B said, I repent every morning when I wake up and every night before I go to bed. Amen. Lady B. You know, let's continue though. I can't get into the, I gotta do a whole segment for that. Jesse, Lee Peterson, and Umar. But I won't, this is what I'm sorry. I wanted to go to this video as a clip last night that here we go. Okay. And it was the James Baldwin, and it was the Nikki Giovanni clip. And let me say this too, right? You know, once you start finding out the truth, the person that rejects the truth is satanic because the rejection of the truth is Satan. The person that embraces the truth is embracing God. It is a godly characteristic to see the truth or hear the truth and accept it. That is a godly characteristic. So when a person hears the truth and they reject it, that already lets you know that there's some kind of satanic issues going on because only the devil or a demon would reject the truth. Somebody said, I agree with him, but it's not all. I didn't say it was all. I said 95% of black men. I didn't say all. 95%. I wouldn't say all. I can't say all. I would say 95% of the black men out there live by excuses. They do. When Deion Sanders lost to Oregon, everybody said the coaches got together to make sure he would lose. Like Oregon wasn't a better team. Like, I'm just, come on. It's ridiculous. So it's not all black men, but it is 95%. If you don't believe me, just do a survey. Just ask black men about racism, and they're going to tell you. Don't take my word for it. Just ask them, just say, do you believe that black people are oppressed? They're going to say yes. Do you believe you are a victim of racism? They're going to say yes. Tariq Nasheed said he was oppressed. The one funny-looking chubby dude on the African Diaspora Network, he said he was oppressed. These are leaders saying they're oppressed. I'm not making this up. Everybody wants to make me the bad guy. I'm not making this up. I'm not saying it because I want to just say it. No, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. The problem is that most black men have an excuse. The black man is able to point to another group of people and blame them for everything. No other group has that. Asian men can't do that. Indian men can't do that. Hispanic men can't do that. There's no other group on the planet that can point to another group and say they're why not successful. Nowhere. It don't fly nowhere else in the world for a man to say, that's my problem right there. You will not go anywhere else in the world and find some grown men saying that the white folks is why I'm here right now. They're not going to do it. So again, the black man has a luxury that nobody else has. But that luxury has made him weak. I come from the school of thought that everything is my fault. Everything. Everything is my fault. I don't give credit to nothing. If I fail in life, it is my fault 100%. It's on me. So again, most black men share the spirit of I am a victim. And when you are a victim, that means you don't have any hope. And a person without hope is going to be desperate. And a desperate person will accept everything and anything. I did a video saying that white people are not thinking about you and black folks got upset. Why would you get upset if the quote unquote racist white people weren't thinking about you? Why would that make you upset? Doesn't make any sense. You say they're racist. I'm telling you, they're not thinking about you. You fight me saying they are thinking about you, but you have no proof that they are. When Bill Gates and his wife got on that TV screen and said they want to make sure that black folks get that snake bite, y'all didn't start a riot. Y'all didn't protest. When Bill Gates and his wife, could possibly be husband, because I heard the wife was gone, but when Bill Gates and his other got on TV and said they want to get black folks jabbed up first, black folks didn't start a riot. They didn't start a ruckus. They didn't get mad. I got more black men coming to my page mad at me than Bill Gates. I got more black men coming to my page mad at me, but not mad at Bill Gates. Bill Gates done left a trail of destruction for years. And all the guys coming to my page ain't never went to his page and said nothing. Like I said today, it's because they're scared. Black folks are scared of Klaus Schwab. They're scared of Bill Gates because they know it's real. We shall overcome in the streets, that's fake. MLK, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, that's fake. We shall overcome someday, that's fake. Bill Gates is real. Klaus Schwab is real. Yuval Noah Harari is real. The WEF is real. The WHO is real. Big Pharma is real. Joe Biden is real. So what I'm telling you all is, when it was the fake stuff, black folks took to the streets constantly. But when it's real, they don't even utter a word. How dare any black man come to my page mad at me and not mad at Bill Gates? How you coming to my page but not mad at Klaus Schwab? It's because you all are scared. You're terrified. You're just hoping and praying that Klaus Schwab, when he's looking over the land, he don't see you. Y'all staying as quiet as possible. Y'all sticking to every script. Every script these folks lay out, black folks follow it. They can put anything on TV and black folks gonna follow it. So again, when I'm talking 10 years from now. I'm telling you what all this anti-white stuff is about. It is a strategy of war. Has nothing to do with race, nothing to do with equality or equity, none of that. It is a strategy of war. We have to get as many people against white folks as possible because we know they're going to fight back. It ain't no deeper than that. There is no mobilized effort from any other race against this great reset except white people. You can go to any event in America that was going on against this stuff or going on currently, it's going to be 99% white people. You saw no collective effort from Asians, Hispanics, nor blacks to go against what's going on. None. Every event I went to, it was all white. And the black folks that was there was wearing a mask. So again, the whole purpose behind all of this race rhetoric is to get as many of the dum-dums to go against the white people, because they know they're going to have to fight these white people in the country with the most guns. It is a strategy of war. These white folks ain't thinking about you. These white folks have lost their businesses behind this stuff, lost their friends, lost their families, lost careers, lost practices, been thrown in prison, all kind of stuff. And you think amidst all of that, they're thinking about you all, you're out of your mind. And I rebuke it. Why isn't Umar Johnson leading a protest against Klaus Schwab? Why isn't Umar Johnson leading a protest against Klaus Schwab? Why aren't any of these so-called black leaders, these men, going against the Great Reset? If I'm the sellout, I'm the coon, okay, take me off the table. I done sold out. Why are y'all not doing it? Thank you, Titty Ball. You probably get a check from Klaus Schwab, exactly. But let's continue right here. Let's continue.
The word morals is misleading. Power without some sense of oneself is simply another kind of sterility. And the black people would then become exactly what white people have become. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a danger. So the question, I mean, for me, the question has always been power.
Yes.
And, you know, I never wanted to be the most moral person in the world.
I agree. I
would sell my soul. You know what I mean? What is the profit of man to gain the world and lose his soul? The world. You know what I mean? The world, that's what it profits.
Now, you just heard Nikki Giovanni say that I would sell my soul. My question is, who would she be selling her soul to? If the world is ran by white people, as they're going to say, then who would she be selling her soul to? Nikki Giovanni just said she never cared about being a moral person. But she's considered a black leader. Dang, why you calling me, man? I'm doing a show, man. What's going on? Keep calling me, Ice. My bad, man. You can call me. I keep sending you the voicemail for a reason. Come on, man. But you heard Nikki Giovanni just say that she never wanted to be a moral person. She wants to sell her soul. But my question to you all is, Nikki Giovanni, the black queen, the pillar of the black community, one of the figures in black history, just told you live back then that she wanted to sell her soul. So that means all of this black conscious rhetoric talk is really a front, because her real goal is to sell her soul, but to sell her soul to who? If it's Satan, that's bad. But if it's the white man, it's still bad. All Nikki Giovanni did was tell you all the truth. But the indictment doesn't go on Nikki Giovanni, nor does it go on James Baldwin. It goes on black people that even overlooked her saying this. Why did Nikki Giovanni get canceled when she said, I want to sell my soul? Why would Nikki Giovanni get canceled if she just said, I want to sell my soul? Why does that not set off alarms in somebody's? I'll tell you why. Because she gets a pass because she's what? She's black. And what you're going to find is you're going to find that being black is a shield, is a cover to be decadent. It's a cover to be immoral. It's a cover to live in sin. It's a cover to go against God. So what a person will say is, I'll say, why y'all following Nikki Giovanni and she says she want to sell her soul? Then black folks will respond, man, how many white folks done sold their soul? The skin is a cover. The enemy is clever. So the indication that Adam and Eve sinned was the fact that they had skin. Adam and Eve realizing they were naked is because they had skin. Once they ate the fruit, now they were going to die. How are you going to die? Because you have a natural body. So when Adam and Eve sinned, bit the fruit, they got skin. So the original indicator for sin is your skin. Now imagine black people focus solely on the very thing that signifies that we're all in sin. Imagine black people worshiping the very indicator that symbolizes that we are all in a fallen state. That is what black folks are hanging their hat on. Let's continue.
I know.
So you take the soul, you know, the
Yeah,
thing that's spiritual. Take the world, but give me Jesus.
Yes,
Y'all can
yes,
have Jesus.
yes.
Give me the world. Even though it's polluted, ugly, dirty, give it to me.
Speaking,
or let me. Or I will take it.
Whose mama just died.
Kind of sterility, and the black people would then become exactly what white people have become. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a danger. So the question, I mean, for me, the question has always been power.
Yes.
And you know, I never wanted to be the most moral person in the world.
I agree. I know.
I would sell my soul. You know what I mean? What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? The world. You know what I mean? The world. That's what it profits.
I know.
So you take the soul, you know, the thing that's spiritual. Take the world, but give me Jesus.
Yes,
Y'all can have Jesus. Give me the world. Even though it's polluted, ugly, dirty, give it to me.
Speaking,
or let me. Or I will take it. Or not.
But speaking.
So she even doubles down and she says, you keep Jesus, give me the world. Take my soul and give me the world. Even though it's dirty, ugly, and polluted, I still want it. This is most of your black leaders. They want the world. They want the world. How do I know this? Because when they get on the stage and get a microphone in front of them, they never tell you the truth. It's always deception. When Malcolm X found out that Elijah Muhammad was getting little girls pregnant, he should have left immediately, but he didn't. Because Elijah Muhammad was black. And if the white man is doing wrong, then how can I judge the black man? I know the psychology that goes into the black mind because I was there. None of it's godly. None of it's godly. If you indulge in blackness and black culture, you are going to sin. Because what blackness is asking you to do is to go against what is right. So Nikki Giovanni doubling down on making 3 statements about how she wanted to sell her soul, about how she didn't want Jesus, and she still has black fans and supporters. If I played this video in an auditorium full of black people and played her saying this and then said what I'm saying now, the folks would get me up out of there. And I say this all the time, Black folks are not mad at me because I'm lying. They are mad because I'm telling the truth. But Nikki Giovanni let you get into the mind of all these Black leaders. Matter of fact, look at her face. Look at her face.
Kind of sterility. And the Black people would then become exactly what white people have become. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a danger. So the question, I mean, for me, the question has always been power.
Yes.
And, you know, I never wanted to be the most moral person in the world.
I agree. I know.
I would sell my soul. You know what I mean? What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? The world. You know what I mean? The world. That's what it profits.
I know.
So you take the soul, you know, the thing that's spiritual. Take the world, but give me Jesus.
Yes,
y'all can have Jesus. Give me the world. Even though it's polluted, ugly, dirty, give it to me.
Speaking,
or let me. Or I will take it or not.
But speaking.
And what you saw with Nikki Giovanni, you really heard the demon talking. You heard the demon. She don't care about Black liberation. She don't care about racism. She don't care about none of that. She wants the world. She told you. I want the world. If I don't get it, I'm going to take it. Nowhere in her rant did she mention Black people. Nowhere in her rant did she mention white people. In her rant, she mentioned the world. She said, I never wanted to be a moral person. You heard my son and Tamika Mallory. We want to be able to turn up and be activists. This is what these people want. It's not about helping Black people. It's about getting a pass to be wicked and evil and have it to be celebrated. I get called so many coons till it ain't even funny. Coon this, coon that, coon, coon, coon. But when I go to your favorite leaders, they saying they want to sell their soul. When I go to your favorite leader, matter of fact, let me go to one of them. Let me go to one of them. So y'all think I ain't tripping.
2016, President Obama sent a letter to every school district in the United States. And President Obama said, every child has a right to use the bathroom of the gender that they identify with. And President Obama threatened the state departments of education. If you don't let transgender children use the bathroom of the gender they identify with, we will cut your funding. We will cut your money. We will cut your grants. And so Barack Obama, more than any other politician in the world, fed the transgender movement.
Now that's Umar Johnson in the background talking, but he's right. So my question is, how did Black people reconcile, including myself, with the fact that Obama said, let the children go to the same bathroom? Now, why do you think Obama, the modern Black savior, why do you think he'd want the children to go to the same bathroom? Now, keep in mind, we're talking about grades K through 12. We're talking about grades K through 12. So my question is, why would Obama want boys and girls in the same bathroom with each other all day long? What was Obama's reasoning for that? Anybody ask him? Now, how many times have you heard somebody call Obama a coon? How many times have you heard someone call Obama a coon? Now, Obama said you don't get any reparations. Obama gave land to Native Americans, cut them a check, cut the Jews a check, cut the immigrants a check coming over here. Obama cut a check for everybody except black people. When was the last time y'all heard Obama being called a coon? You've never heard Obama be called a coon. But yet everything Obama did was destructive towards black people. The highest unemployment rate, historic highs in unemployment for black people under Obama's watch. Historic highs. Obama had the House and the Senate for the first 2 years and did nothing. So my question is, why am I being called a coon? And I'm just little old me, but Obama that has actual power didn't do anything and he's never called a coon. I'll tell you why. Because being black really has nothing to do with appearance. Being black has everything to do with being wicked. If you notice, the people that black folks celebrate are the people that are wicked. Black folks don't celebrate righteous black people. Black folks celebrate the wicked people. Think about Obama saying, and when he was interviewed, the guy said, well, if there was a housing crisis, you would use houses to fix it. If there was, like, he went through all the scenarios of if there was a problem specifically to something, you would address it specifically. He said, but when it comes to black people, you don't want to do it specifically. Obama said, and I quote, that's not how America works. But if I look at Obama's track record, he did stuff specifically for every other group except black people. So my question is, why is Obama not called a coon? I'll tell you why. Because he's wicked. If he was righteous, he wouldn't have been president. So, but Obama's saying that he wanted all the children to go to the same restroom should have canceled him in black people's eyes, because Obama was pushing the trans agenda on top of pushing the gay agenda. So the black president, they knew that because he's black, nobody would hold him accountable. If Trump did what Obama did, the country would be outraged. If Bush did what Obama did, the country would be outraged. But Obama gets a pass because he's black. Biden gets a pass because he was under Obama. Still black. Black people will never follow righteous leadership, ever. Because a righteous leader is going to hold black folks accountable. Yeah, and on top of that, he married Big Mike. Y'all can't find any pictures of Big Mike being pregnant, but y'all assured us that she had them children. Okay. Well, yeah, liberals get passes, true. LGBTQs get passes. To me, they're all the same. The average black person, the liberal, the LGBTQ, the trans, they all the same. But they share the same spirit. It's all about me, self-worship. It's all about tyranny on everybody else. They share the same spirit. They all share they look different, but they all share the same. That's why they all together. And mark my words, you're going to see black men in the streets, black, straight, heterosexual men in the streets marching for the Transformers. Mark my words. But let's continue. Actually, you know what? There was one video. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Come on, come on, come on. There was a video that I had with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but maybe I didn't post it. Okay, let me go to this one then. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, this guy I'm bringing up now, this guy pulled the fire alarm. I'm gonna let you play this video of him talking, and then he pulls a fire alarm when they were about to shut down the government.
At all, cowards, pressure them, force them to respond to the question, why the hell won't you do anything to save America's children?
This is Jamal Bowman. And again, liberal, he's pro-jab, pro-abortion, pro-climate change. He's pro all of the destructive agendas. He's all of them are pro all of Satan's agendas. He's no different. He's trying to talk passionate. And again, I told you, black people lie. So it's best to assume when a black person is ranting and raving that they're lying. I'm sorry. I don't care what race you are listening. It's best to assume that they are lying first. If you go off what they're saying at face value, you will almost assuredly be led down the wrong path. I'm just saying.
And let them explain that all the way up until election day of 2024. Let them explain it all the way up to election day on 2024. They're freaking cowards. They're gutless. They're not here. I'm talking about gun violence.
You know, there's never been
I'm talking about gun violence.
in a school that allows teachers to carry.
Carry guns?
Would you
More guns lead to more death.
Now look. The white guy just told him there has never been a school shooting when teachers carry firearms. Listen to me. Never. So teacher with a firearm is batting 100%. This guy says more guns leads to more death. Just the white guy bringing up stats, the black man just emotional. Let's go.
More guns lead to more death. Look at the data. You're not looking at any data. You're carrying the water for the gun lobby.
Look at the data. The man just told you a specific situation. He said when teachers carry, zero school shootings. Now, what's funny is, I guarantee you've never seen Jamal Bowman running around mad at these shootings with his own people. Show me some video of Jamal Bowman when these babies are getting shot. Show me a video of Jamal Bowman in the trenches with these folks getting shot every single day. Now, Jamal is black, and black men lead the country in homicide. Why wouldn't he mention that? The biggest indictment on guns is the fact that black men lead the nation in homicide with guns. So why is that never a talking point? If you really want to say that guns are a problem and look at the data shows that black men lead the nation in homicide at 6% of the population. So why is he bringing up all this other stuff when he has some data he can pull out right now? He could even say, it's killing my people. We're dying. Why is he not making this what it's supposed to be? His people are dying from gun violence.
More guns lead to more deaths. Guns, states that have open carry laws have more death. States that have open carry laws have more death.
States that have open carry laws have democratic cities that lead the states in homicide. So I live in Georgia, and there's more homicides in Atlanta, even though Georgia is open carry. But before Georgia was quote unquote open carry, Atlanta was still had the most homicides. Like the homicide rate doesn't change because there's more guns. The folks that was killing is still gonna kill. So they love to say red states, but the city with the most homicide in that state is guaranteed to be Democratic because Democrats don't care about gun violence. Democrats want your guns.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Now the white guy say, calm down. Think about this. We two grown men talking, calm down. Like, why are you hollering? I tell you the black man is weak. I'm gonna keep saying he's weak.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? Calm down, children are dying. Not your own children. Because the solution is not arming teachers. Have you ever worked in a school? 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 It's a yes or no question. Have you ever worked in a school? You will not answer my question. Don't stop and talk to me. Okay, I'll bring it down a notch.
All right, folks.
Have you ever worked in the school?
I've got a bill to repeal the
I
federal...
worked in the school for 20 years.
You're just screaming.
I was a teacher. I was screaming.
Now, the white guy walks away. Now listen now. Now listen. The white guy was there for 1 minute and he couldn't take. I told you, listen. When I tell y'all that this black culture thing rubs everybody the wrong way. Now, if it was another black man talking to him, they'd have been hollering back and forth for an hour. The white guy said, I'm done. You just hollering. You just emotional. When the white man walks away, the black man trails behind him and still wants to talk to him. Why do you want to talk to a man who don't want to talk to you? You know why? Because you value him because you think he's superior to you. You don't want him to think he can walk off on you using his white privilege. I know the psychology behind this. Watch this. The white guy walks away, and I don't blame him.
All right, folks.
Have you ever worked in the school?
I've got a bill to repeal the federal...
I worked in the school for 20 years.
You're just screaming.
I was a teacher. I was screaming before you came and interrupted me. I worked in the school for 20 years. I worked in the school 20 years.
In every school,
I was a teacher. I was a
to
school
carry.
counselor. I was a middle school principal. I was in cafeterias protecting kids every day of my career.
There's never been a shooting. Never been a shooting. It's time. Look, we've got guns here to protect us. And you believe the kids should have somebody to protect.
So you see the black man on full display. You see it. The white man walked away from him, said, you got it. And then he jumps in front of the white man in front of the camera. I'm just telling you all the psychology behind it. Black people are the only group of people that want to be where nobody wants them to be. If somebody doesn't want you around them, why do y'all want to be around them? Like, think about the civil rights movement. You're saying this business doesn't even want my money. So then, if that's the case, why am I going to said business? If y'all don't, even today, right? I'm not going to give a business my money if they don't like me. If they say we don't want Blanche here under no circumstances, why would I want to force my way in there to spend my? It don't make any sense. And it would have been different if them black folks went into those businesses and they were spending money. If you go watch them videos, them black folks didn't go in there and spend no money. They only came and start some mess. Y'all didn't even come with money. Y'all didn't even come with money because it wasn't about business. It wasn't about business. It wasn't about equality or equity. It was about you feeling like white folks were better. And like Nikki Giovanni said, I wanted the world. And in the average black person's mind, the world was white people. Ooh, shoot. In the average black person's mind, the world was white people. That's why black folks was willing to risk their lives just to be around white people. No guarantees. They wasn't guaranteed jobs. They wasn't guaranteed service. Black folks was risking their lives just to be around white people. And then when they had the Montgomery bus boycott, the city comes to the black leaders and says, what do you all want? You got our attention. What do y'all want? You know what black folks said? We want to be able to use y'all bathrooms. We want to be able to drink out of y'all water fountains. And we want to be able to sit on front of the bus. Then white folks was like, that's it? And go to y'all school. That's it? Then white folks was prepared to write a check. They was prepared to do all kind of stuff. Black folks went there and said, all we want is a 3-piece spicy, mashed potatoes, coleslaw, string beans, 2 biscuits, and some sweet tea lemonade mix. Them white folks are scratching their head like, that's it? Hey, put the money up, put the money up, put the money up. Well, we thought long and hard, and we can do that. We think we can do that for you. We can do that for you. Put the money up. We can do that. Them white folks came prepared to write the check. And them Negroes said, 3-piece spicy, mashed, coleslaw, string beans, 2 biscuits, sweet tea, lemonade mix. No, they didn't even want mac and cheese and candy. Yeah, that's too special. They wanted the basic combo. They didn't want nothing special. Black folks had the attention of white people and wanted the basic combo. Then white people said, let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. Y'all boycotted for over a year, and all you all want is ride on the front of the bus, eat at the white restaurant, drink at the white water fountain, use the white restroom, and go to the white school. I got that straight? I got that correct? So y'all don't want no money. Y'all don't want any businesses. Y'all don't want a piece of the city. Y'all don't want no tax exemption. None. Thank you. We can do it. We can do it. It's gonna be tough, but we can do it. We can do it. It's actually sad. Pretty Liddy said, it's mind-boggling to me that black men ran to the Supreme Court for integration during Jim Crow days and today interracially, but today they won't go to court for their black children. I agree 100%. The black man is weak. The black man is weak. But I'm going to say this again. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. So the results of what black people are seeing today is the result of a bad tree. It's fruit from a bad tree. The problem is that the movement itself was never righteous in the beginning. It was never right. That's why the results would never be right from it. It was compromised from the jump. Black folks didn't need all this other stuff. All black folks needed was an opportunity to be in the free labor market. That's all. And most black folks would create stuff for their own. When it's time to make money, folks gonna make money, no matter what the color is.
Every school that's allowed it has never had a shooting, not even an accidental discharge at any of the schools. So, never had a shooting, not even an accidental.
Listen to what he says.
I believe the kids should have somebody to protect them. Every school that's allowed it has never had a shooting, not even an accidental discharge at any of the schools. So. Yeah, absolutely. Next week, I'm reintroducing.
Now you notice in this level playing field, these two men are on the same level. And you saw the black man embarrass himself. You saw the white guy keep his cool. But you only give the black guy a pass because he's black, talking to a white guy. I don't give him a pass. He's being foolish. He doesn't have any self-control. But he's advocating for black children. I don't trust him. I don't trust any man that can't control himself. Let's see what else he did. Let's see what else he did.
What concerns me about Jamal Bowman is he has a history of aggression, not just towards others, but towards me. Shouting at the top of his lungs, cursing, calling me a horrible, calling me a white supremacist, which I take great offense to. That is like calling a person of color the N-word, which should never happen. Calling me a white supremacist is equal to that, and that is wrong.
Marjorie Taylor Greene in her press conference this morning said something incredibly dangerous and incredibly reckless about me, talking about my demeanor as being aggressive and saying that she feels intimidated by me. Unfortunately,
did he not grab the white guy when he walked off? Did Jamal Bowman not grab the white guy when he walked away? He grabbed him twice. Is that aggressive behavior? So what he's saying is, I should be able to grab you when I want to, and then you can't say I'm threatening. I told you all, what black people are asking for is immunity from what's right. They're not asking for equality. This man just grabbed this man twice. The guy walked away from him and said, you got it. So now he's saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene is dangerous because she told the truth. This guy pulled it. Let me find this video, because I couldn't find the Marjorie Taylor Greene video where he pulled his fire alarm.
Stand by your statement that when the fire alarm was an accident?
you know, I don't know why this has gotten so much attention. I was literally just in a rush to go vote, man. That's all it was.
Are you afraid of any repercussions, either from leadership or from legally from Capitol Police?
I mean, listen, I take responsibility for what I did, you know, but like I said, I was in a rush to go vote, and, you know, the investigation will sort everything else out.
Now, this man pulled a fire alarm, which is a federal offense. So he won't get in trouble. But my question is, why won't he get in trouble? Now, the folks of January 6th got in trouble for pulling a fire alarm. It's folks from January 6th, and their charge is pulling a fire alarm, and they're still locked up. So my question is, why won't this black man get locked up if the system is so racist and rigged against him? He pulled a fire alarm. He's on camera. The funny thing is, he's so bold, he pulled the fire alarm on camera. And his excuse is, I was in a rush to go vote. Why would he say that? Because he knows that black folks going to say, oh, if he's trying to vote, he can do it. He already knows the mind of black people, liberals, trans. He already knows the mind. I was in a rush to go vote. So he already knows that's a trigger word for the dum-dums at home. Meanwhile, if I pull a fire alarm, they're going to find a way to arrest me miraculously. Now, if I pulled a fire alarm and I was wearing a dress, I would get a pass. If I pulled the fire alarm and I had on heels and a dress and lipstick, I would get a pass. But Jamal Bowman pulled the fire alarm so they couldn't have the meeting.
Have you talked to Jeffries about it?
Oh yeah, of course. That's day one. Yes.
How was that conversation?
Well, I got to keep that between me and the leader, so I'm not going to share that publicly. Yeah, but we've been in touch with each other.
So this man I just want to find. Hold on real quick.
Jamal Bowman claims he had. Hi everyone, we're at the infamous door where Jamal Bowman claims he had to pull a fire alarm to get out. Now these doors are open on weekdays. Every member of Congress knows that. Everybody that works here knows that. But on Saturdays and Sundays, they are locked, and only certain doors are open on Saturdays and Sundays. Now come on over here. This right here is a fire alarm. Nowhere does it say pull the fire alarm to open the exit door. Doesn't say that, and I think ex-middle school principals know better. Let me show you how we go when we need to go vote. I know this because my office is in here in Cannon Building. Come on, go this way. Oh, look, there's stairs. By the way, we had to use the stairs to evacuate the Cannon Building after Jamal Bowman pulled the fire alarm.
So now we know Jamal Bowman is lying about being in a rush to go vote. Clearly he's lying. But folks would be more mad that she's exposing him than him actually doing it.
Now, here's where you have an option. As members of Congress, we can continue to go down the stairs this way. And you can go in the basement and we can walk in the tunnel that goes under the road to the Capitol. We do that all the time, especially if the weather's bad. Or you can come around this way. See where that says exit? It exits out on New Jersey. This one is open all the time, not just some of the time, all the time. So let's explain very clearly again. Jamal Bowman didn't pull the fire alarm to try to get out of the building because he had to rush to go vote. I know that for a fact because I also work in the Cannon office building, and I watched Catherine Clark, the Democrat whip, make a motion to adjourn, and then within minutes, Jamal Bowman pulled a fire alarm, and he knew he was pulling a fire alarm because he's a former middle school principal. And then he ran out of the building and didn't tell anybody he did that. And this building was evacuated for over an hour
and Congress had to hold the vote open. That's usually only 15 minutes on the first vote. They held it open for over an hour as well.
So again, he won't get in trouble because he's black. He's not just black, but he's Democrat. He's black. Now, if he was a black Republican, he in handcuffs. We know it. You know it. I know it. If he was black, gay, no problem. He can do it. So again, rules for thee and not for me. Somebody said he had milk dud privilege. But anyway, let's continue.
Statement that when fire alarm wasn't
Did, but like I said, I was in a rush to go vote, and, the investigation will sort everything else out.
Have you talked to Jeffries about it?
Oh, yeah, of course, since day one, yes.
How was that conversation?
Well, I got to keep that between me and the leader, so I'm not going to share that publicly. Yeah, but we've been in touch with each other.
How much you want to bet that Jamal Bowman will never get called a coon? He'll never get called a coon because he yells at white people. And at the end of all of this, the real issue is y'all are just scared. That's all. What's coming down this pike, y'all are scared. That's all it is. Fear. It's just fear.
The men are here, but when they told me Aquaman was coming, I pulled my swimming trunks out. I almost preached in a Speedo today. I wanted to be a part of what was happening. I want you don't even know how you've encouraged so many young people around the country, and you have defied the stigma because they say that black people don't swim. But you jumped in the water, and I heard you say in the interview you had never swam that fast or swim that far in your life. What made you jump in the water that day?
I just had to help someone.
Wow.
It was someone in need and who I cared about and who my brother also cared about, so I had to.
I am so grateful. New Birth, I want you to make some noise. Come on, make some noise, make some noise. Aaron's parents, you all come on up a little bit closer. Come on up a little bit closer. Aaron's parents are here with him on today, and we're grateful that they made that ride early this morning. We want to give a gift, Aaron, to you and to your future. On behalf of New Birth, we want to give you a $2,000 college scholarship to help you. Come on, y'all got to do better than that.
Okay, let's rewind this so we can pick this apart real quick. So first of all, Jamal Bryant is on stage with a chair. Now, Jamal Bryant will never mention Klaus Schwab in his church. He'll never mention Bill Gates. He'll never mention the mRNA. He'll never mention any pressing issue in the world. He'll never mention open borders. He'll never mention any of this stuff. He will never mention in that pulpit any pressing issue that is concerning humanity. But he will be on stage with a chair celebrating 4 black men that got in a fight. And the boy that swam didn't even do nothing. He didn't even do anything. He sucker punched got knocked down by a woman and sucker punched somebody else from behind and ran off. But Jamal Bryant is in his church celebrating 4 black men because they fought some white people. And the guy in the red shirt, the star, he got beat up. So imagine being honored and celebrated, one guy for getting beat up and one guy for swimming not doing nothing. And then to top it off, the audacity to give him $2,000 to go to college. That money ain't gonna see a book. That money won't see a book. That money won't see a pencil, a pen, a MacBook, a computer, a thumb drive. That $2,000 won't see anything dealing with education. Facts. That's why they gave him $2,000, because they know he probably ain't going to college. But knowing black folks, they'll probably start a GoFundMe for him. Everybody will chip in. They'll try to match what Jamal Bryant did. He'll probably end up getting all of his college paid for. Let's continue.
But when they told me Aquaman was coming, I pulled my swimming trunks out. I almost preached in a Speedo today. I wanted to be a part of what was happening. I want you don't even know how you've encouraged so many young people around the country. And
encouraged young people to do what? Encouraged young people to do what? What did he encourage? And this is what I mean by the black man being weak. These are the examples of black men. Point to me to a black man that is righteous with a position of power. You mean to tell me there's none? Jamal Bryant is walking around with a chair on stage, and he will never get called a coon.
And you have defied the stigma because they say that black people don't swim.
Black people don't swim, but it's not because of racism. I got Lydia on here. There was a movie that came out based on a true story called Pride with Terrence Howard. Now, the Terrence Howard movie, the guy that went to the community center to be the swim coach was a professional swimmer. Now, think about it. He went to the city to teach the black children how to swim. That means they had their own pool. There's a whole movie that was popular called Pride with Terrence Howard about a black man going back after college. He swam in college, going back to teach the inner city children to swim because they had a pool in their neighborhood. Black folks wanted to swim in the white folks' pool because they said the white folks' pool, you could swim easier. Black folks said, we want to go to the white man's pool because in the white man's pool, the water don't splash as hard. In the white man's pool, the water is cleaner. The white man has better water in his pool. And then white folks said, well, hold on now. And again, y'all never take into account that when black folks was invading white spaces, they were invading white spaces with black culture. They weren't coming normal. They wasn't coming waving the white flag. They were coming with black culture. Nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever talks about how black culture, as Chad O. Jackson said, is repulsive. And y'all know, because I grew up in the inner city. So I know when we went to the white spaces, we bought the hood with us. There was never if our parents wasn't there, we bought the hood with us. We broke every rule. It used to be a list of rules at the white pool you go to. List the rule, we breaking all of. We running, jumping off the thing. We doing all kind of breaking every rule. Because in the hood pool, you can break the rules. But they never talk about black people invading white spaces with black culture. They never mention it. They never talk about that. They just say that the black person showed up and the white folks said no. That ain't what happened. The black folks showed up acting like some Let's continue.
But you jumped in the water, and I heard you say in the
black culture has been bad for quite some time. The inner city black culture, has been bad for quite some time. Quite some time. If you don't believe me, just go watch, and it's in all the movies. Go watch Malcolm X and tell me how black culture was in the Malcolm X movie. Yeah, Allen Iverson started that bowling alley fight. People getting hit in the head with bowling balls. Allen Iverson started a bowling alley brawl. So if you go back to the Malcolm X movie, just tell me how were black folks portrayed with black culture during the Malcolm X movie? The movies show you what they was doing. Hoodlums, the movie with Lawrence Fishburne and them, the Hoodlums, all in the 1920s and 30s. Harlem Nights. Black culture been decadent. It's been decadent. It's been destructive. Look what Malcolm X was doing around black culture. Everything was illegal. So again, they never talk about black people bringing black culture. And I know this because when I went from a school that was like this to a school that was like this, how was it this school was cool? How was the new school unacceptable? Unacceptable. But they never talk about black culture. And so what black folks have been saying is, oh, white folks made us do this. No, it's not true. It's not true. There were certain periods of times where only the milkman was white coming to the neighborhood. Everything else on the south side of Chicago is all black. So my question is, why is it when it's all black, it's never turning out good? The HBCU versus the white college. Why isn't the HBCU filled with excellence? Why is the graduation rate lower? Why are there more STDs? Like why? Like if it's a true thing that white folks are holding black people back, then why is it when it's all black, it's never good? I'll tell you why. Because of black culture. What I keep telling you is that when black folks move around, they take black culture with them. They don't leave it. Because if they left it, they wouldn't feel black. Chris and Christ said, well, Kaepernick said Allen Iverson exemplified black culture and his parents in school oppressed him for not letting him wear braids. It's true. Kaepernick did say that. And Kaepernick, like Lecrae, is another poser. Another phony. Kaepernick grew up white. Kaepernick grew up culturally white. Nothing wrong with that, though. Kaepernick was doing fine till he got woke. Once Kaepernick got woke, it's over.
Interview, you had never swam that fast or swim that far in your life. What made you jump in the water that day?
I just had to help someone.
Wow.
It was someone in need and who I cared about and who my brother also cared about, so I had to.
I am so grateful. New Birth, I want you to make some noise. Come on, make some noise.
And the funny thing is that what's funny is that the Alabama boat brawl, the guy got jumped for maybe 30 seconds. Then it was one-on-one and he lost. The actual fight lasted 1 minute at tops. The other 14 minutes was black folks just seeing a free lick at white people. What black folks was doing had nothing to do with the fight, because when the boys swam over there, the fight was broke up. The fight had been broken up. And y'all see in real time how fake all this black stuff is. There's a whole movement created behind this boat brawl, and it's fake. It ain't even real.
Noise, make some noise. Aaron's parents, you all come on up a little bit closer. Come on up a little bit closer. Aaron's parents are here with him on today, and we're grateful that they made that ride early this morning. We want to give a gift, Aaron, to you and to your future. On behalf of New Birth, we want to give you a $2,000 college scholarship to help you. Come on, y'all got to do better than that.
Now this boy, now think about this now. Now think about the precedence it sets in his mind where he says, if I'm foolish for black, I'm gonna get rewarded. That's what they're saying. If I'm foolish for black, I'll get rewarded. Yeah, that's the guy that threw his hat up in the red shirt and got a two-piece. He lost the fight. When the fight was one-on-one with the guy, he lost. He lost. And now he's being honored. And now he's being honored.
So they was coming through the wall. They wanted something like your boy see, nothing more important than booty. You heard me? That was on their mind, bro.
Well, is drop the soap like a real thing? Don't drop the soap. Is that a real thing in prison?
Nah, because them dudes, it didn't matter if you dropped the soap or not. If them dudes was on you, they was on you. Like that's some commercial shit. Like in Angola, it was raw. It wasn't about no. And if dudes got on your trail and you tried to fist fight them, they call that love licks. So now they gonna stay on you. If dude mess with you about your manhood, you can't fist fight him behind that. You gotta shank him, or you gotta put them helicopters on. You gotta put that lock on, that belt loop on, locks in the side. You gotta try to knock his eye out, knock his head off, his juggle, something. You gotta. Some of these dudes was actually innocent, bro.
Damn.
Some of these dudes did not do the crime that they was sentenced to die in prison for. Them dudes, they told them dudes 2 life sentences, 3 life, you go die without parole, man. You see what I'm saying? So when they sent them dudes there and did.
Let me ask you a question. How many of folks in prison said they did it? How many folks in prison say I did it? I'm guilty. How would this guy know who was innocent and who wasn't? Based on what? Based on what? Now, sure, there are some cases that are rare where folks do get locked up unjustly. But I'm going to tell you like this. And I'm going to just say this. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Ain't no man minding his own business, staying out the way, just getting snatched up and sent to prison for 40 years. No. Something happened. You was with the wrong people. You was in the wrong. Something happened where you put yourself in a situation to even be jammed up. 99.9% of people in prison did it. That's why they're there. That 0.01%, it does happen, but it is very rare. If y'all read some of these court cases, the evidence is so overwhelming against most black men till it's insane. Black men don't do crime well. If you could just look at some of these cases, how many witnesses and evidence, but they show you Khalil Browder like it happens all the time, and it doesn't. What happened to him was unfortunate. It was wrong. It was wrong. But is that the norm? Absolutely not. And for this guy to say the guy was innocent, innocent based on what? Innocent based on what? On what the prisoner said? Let's continue.
Did that to them dudes. Some of them dudes lost their hope. Some of them dudes lost their faith. You heard me? Some of them dudes lost their confidence. They lost faith in humanity. And they went all the way wild, but they lost their mind.
Listen what he says.
On. You got to put that lock on, that belt loop on, locks in the sock. You got to try to knock his eye out, knock his head off, his jiggle or something. You got to. Some of these dudes was actually innocent, bro.
Damn.
Some of these dudes did not do the crime that they were sentenced to die in prison for. Them dudes, they told them dudes 2 life sentences, 3 life, you go die without parole, man. You see what I'm saying? So when they sent them dudes there and did that to them dudes, some of them dudes lost their hope. Some of them dudes lost their faith. You heard me? Some of them dudes lost their confidence. They lost faith in humanity. And they went all the way wild, but they lost their mind.
Yeah. Allen Iverson was a bad example for him, for young ball players. He didn't believe in going to practice. He didn't believe in following the rules. He didn't believe in a dress code. He took out all the professionalism from basketball. He did. And all the hood kids loved Allen Iverson. But when he said, we talking about practice, he told every child in the world that practice wasn't that important. I'm like, Allen Iverson, you're your team's best offensive player by a long shot. Like AI averaged 30-something. Next person probably averaged about 15 points. But my point is, if you're not practicing, then what is the team practicing? Defense? Think about how much better Allen Iverson could have been if he practiced. And when I say practice, I mean you work on things that you don't do well. It's still the same with the black quarterback syndrome. But most people going to prison, they did it. They did it. What is this right here? What is this?
Really left this realm. You literally
Yes.
Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna save that one. Let me go with this one.
To really start being white supremacists again. I need you guys to tap into that shit and do it again, please, because this country is out of control.
She knows it's that which is anti-white. That which is white erasure is the problem. The country's out of control. I need white people to reassert themselves again. What did Jason tell you about non-white people? There would be good non-white people who would side with us, and even neutral non-white people who were just worried about themselves. And this girl, she sounds like it's totally natural. I don't hold it against her to be concerned about herself and her future in a America that is increasingly anti-white, increasingly white erased. She's concerned about that. Non-white people will join us, as they have and are, in service to white well-being, because number one, they might be moral and they might say, this is really awful what you do to white people, condemning them as evil, teaching their children to hate themselves. That is immoral. They might be concerned about themselves, like this woman seems here, or they might be both. I don't care. I just want them to side with us for white well-being because it's going to benefit them.
Now, I like this guy, and his page is nowhiteguilt.org. And I like people that are unapologetic in what they believe. And I actually agree with this guy, because the anti-white movement, like I said before, is because white people are the ones fighting against all this stuff. And it's just that it's no deeper than that. White people are in the way. They're in a country with the most weapons. You know what I'm saying? They're in a country where they have the right to bear arms. So the rest of the world doesn't have this privilege or this luxury to be. These white men do, or white people do. And so they're the biggest threat. They've already said again that the greatest threat to America is the evangelical Christian white male. Like, this is, and it's because he's the one that's going to fight. So I'm gonna play it again, but the young lady in the beginning of the video, she says something that's very interesting.
But I need white people to really start being white supremacists again. I need you guys to tap into that shit and do it again, please, because this country is out of control.
She knows it's that which is anti-white. That which is white erasure is the problem.
So what happens is folks cannot like what I'm about to say, but they know it's true. Imagine if America was ran by black people. Just think about that for a second. With the way black culture is today and the way black folks are, would you want to live in America if it was ran by black people? Why is she disgusting and why is he disgusting? Why is she disgusting and why is he disgusting? I'm gonna ask the question again. So what they're proposing is that white people are no longer in charge. Got you. So my question is for you all, who do you all look to say if they led the country, we'd be okay? Who? Now, somebody on here said that America would be better if black people ran it. So give me an example currently today where black folks run something and it's successful. Give me something today where black people run it and it's successful. So again, what the young lady is saying is she's saying that, and he hits her on the nail. He says that they're trying to erase white. Erasing white means that you put something else in its place. Now, we already know if white people were to run America, then that would mean that the LGBTQs will run America. That would also mean it would be Black women and trans and gays running America. Who wants to live under that? And so we talk about white people, but we don't talk about the alternative. Nikki Giovanni said that she wants the world. These Black leaders want the world. So my question is, what Black person do you trust to lead America? The only group that we've seen is we've seen the NAACP, we've seen Black Lives Matter, we've seen Nation of Islam. How'd that work out? We've seen the Nation of Islam, we've seen NAACP, we've seen Black Lives Matter. How has that worked out? So again, now somebody said they're disgusting, but what he's talking about is they're trying to erase white. There's an anti-white movement. Now, in his defense, he's being punished for something that happened hundreds of years ago. Like, he's being penalized for something that happened centuries ago. He has to bear the burden of any white person that owned a slave. But Black folks don't have to bear the burden for any Black person that owned a slave, ironically. White people have to bear the burden of slavery, but Black folks that own slaves are absolved of all their sins. Right, Pretty Liddy, right. Let's continue.
The country's out of control. I need white people to reassert themselves again. What did Jason tell you about non-white people? There would be good non-white people who would side with us, and even neutral non-white people who were just worried about themselves. And this girl, she sounds like it's totally natural. I don't hold it against her to be concerned about herself and her future in a America that is increasingly anti-white, increasingly white erased. She's concerned about that. Non-white people will join us, as they have and are, in service to white well-being, because number one, they might be moral and they might say, this is really awful what you do to white people, condemning them as evil, teaching their children to hate themselves. That is immoral. They might be concerned about themselves, like this woman seems here, or they might be both. I don't care. I just want them to side with us for white well-being because it's going to benefit them.
And so I know someone said that he was disgusting and she was disgusting, but I always speak about things in context. And the problem is, somebody said in here, every aspect of the anti-white agenda is Jewish. I agree. I agree. And like I said before, it is a tactic of war because they know that white people are not going to let this stuff ride. There was one person at the gym one day, and he said, we're talking about guns, gun control and giving up Second Amendment rights and all that stuff. And so my boy asked him, he said, so what you going to do if the government came and said you got to give your guns up? You know what he said? He said, I will give my guns up because I know that the racists Trump supporters would protect me. Now, think about this now. He had just spent the previous 10 minutes bashing Trump and the Trump supporters. Right. But when asked the question about him giving up his guns, he said he would give them up because he knows that the racist Trump supporters will protect him. And I said, well, if they will protect you, why did they make them racist? He said, oh, they be protecting themselves, and then it will protect me in the process. So my point is that there is an agenda to not really get rid of white people, but to get white people in a position where they can't fight. They don't have any power. So you make everything woke, you make everything LGBTQ, you make everything person of color, you make everything, and then you look around and there's white people on an island. And when I say white people, I mean white people that aren't liberal. Because again, the true threat to this global system is white people. It's not black people. It's not black people. Black folks are running around saying that they want us for this and they're trying to do this and we this and that, and they ain't got nothing to show for it. Every agenda that has come on that TV screen, black folks in mass and large, the majority of black folks have succumbed to it. Black people are not a threat at all. What's up, baby for life?
Don't play it so light.
And you
So light.
and
You are an intelligent black man. You are the master of your own fate. The white man has been scared of you for years because of everything that is in your blood, that all you need to do is activate and you will become the captain, the man of whatever you set your mind to. For 400 years, we were held in captivity. We built this country for them, and they still expect us to pay taxes.
Only 3% of white people own slaves. That means the vast majority of white people had to work. Where were they working? It ain't but so many jobs. Where do you think white folks are working? In the South, if the biggest industries were cotton and tobacco and sugarcane, where do y'all think white folks is working? %3 of white people own slaves. Even if a white person's family ancestry owns slaves, I don't care. I don't care. Nobody has to apologize for what happened 100 years, 50 years ago. You ain't got to apologize for what somebody else did.
And yet, we've managed to thrive. They didn't have to do no work. They had 400 years of free labor. And we still have become millionaires and billionaires and this and that. Imagine if we actually really took that and put it to work.
Jaguar Wright is a lunatic. She's messing with one of the guys from the Nature Boys camp. You can't listen. Anybody coming to you talking that bliggity black stuff is coming from Satan. She don't believe in God. Isn't it ironic that none of these black leaders believe in God? How are all these black leaders atheists? How is Farrakhan a Scientologist? MLK didn't believe in the gospel. How are all these leaders? Marcus Garvey didn't believe in God. How does all these leaders that are black are all atheists? That don't bother anybody? That don't make you feel uneasy that all these black leaders, Obama, all these black, they're all atheists? That don't make you kind of nervous? Black people have the audacity to say they're oppressed, but they belong to secret societies. How? That's an oxy. You can't be oppressed and then be a part of an elite group. It doesn't make any sense.
Imagine what you could do. Stop playing it so light. You're heavy. Talk heavy, baby. Talk heavy.
All this empty rhetoric. Black women run the Black community. The strongest voice in the Black community, and probably the second strongest voice in America, is Black women. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Let me go through these super stickers. Simulated students, the real ISO, thank you so much for the super sticker. Jahan, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Rena Bina, thank you so much. My whole life has changed since Megan introduced you on her live. Thank you so much, Rena Bina. The sympathy that people have for Black people because of slavery in America's past allows Black people to be immoral, and everyone will give us a pass. Thanks for the super sticker. Amen, Danny Nightblade 45. Broski Bear, thank you for the super sticker. And the reason why I get on Black people so much is because of being used. Again, Black people could have saved the world if they said we are not taking a snake bite. That would have shut down the entire planet. If Black folks had said we are not doing it, that would have empowered the whole world. But instead, Black people were the ones actually pushing it the hardest. Listen, I'll be back on Wednesday. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in today. And I will see you all soon. Hope you have a blessed day and a blessed tomorrow. Thank y'all.